My girlfriend's closest friend falsely accused me of infidelity because she had feelings for me, so I exposed her, tarnishing her reputation. My girlfriend attempted to end their friendship, but her friend didn't take it well. During my final semester of college, I was assigned a project worth 40% of my grade. And shockingly, I received a 0. I emailed my professor to understand how this happened, and he replied that I had turned in an empty file. I immediately checked my submission and found that all my work had inexplicably vanished. Devastated, I went to my girlfriend's place, seeking solace. I shared what happened, but as I spoke, she gave me a cunning smile. When I asked what was amusing, she admitted she had deleted my assignment. Tears streamed down my face. This project was critical to my graduation. She knew I had vowed to my late grandmother to be the first in our family to earn a college degree, and now that promise was broken. I demanded to know why she would sabotage me, and she said it was because I cheated. Stunned, I asked what she meant, and she showed me screenshots her friend had sent of an alleged Tinder profile of mine. I was floored. I explained it was an outdated profile, and to prove it, I downloaded the app in front of her and attempted to log in. The login failed, as expected. She shouted, asking why her friend would send those screenshots, and I replied that her friend was clearly unhinged. We never resolved the argument and went to sleep furious with each other a few days later. My girlfriend and her friend Chelsea were on campus and passed by the cafe where I was working on a group project with a classmate. They walked by, and I gave them a friendly wave before returning to my work. Chelsea, however, turned it into an issue. She apparently began whispering to my girlfriend, Jenny, about how attractive my classmate was, suggesting I picked her for the project because I was interested in her. She pointed out how closely we were sitting and how much I was laughing with her. That evening, when Jenny returned to her dorm, she was already upset. She confronted me about the girl at the cafe, accusing me of hiding things. I explained that she was just a classmate and we were only working on a project, but Jenny wasn't listening. Chelsea had poisoned her mind again. The discussion escalated. I reminded her that Chelsea was the one spreading lies, but Jenny immediately defended her, insisting Chelsea would never deceive her. It felt like I was always vying for Jenny's attention against Chelsea. I brought up a time when we had planned a special dinner at a restaurant Jenny had been excited about, but she canceled at the last minute because Chelsea was upset after a breakup. I had spent weeks securing that reservation, but it didn't matter when Chelsea called. I understood then, but in hindsight, it was a recurring pattern. Whenever we had plans, if Chelsea needed her, I was sidelined. I told Jenny I knew Chelsea always came first. She tried to explain, saying Chelsea was struggling, but I pointed out that our relationship never seemed to matter when Chelsea was involved. I wasn't her priority. Jenny got defensive, swearing Chelsea would never stoop to lying just to ruin our relationship. She was only looking out for her. If anyone was dishonest, it was me. By the time she grabbed her keys and stormed out, I felt defeated. No matter how much I tried to clarify, her trust in me was gone. Later that week, Chelsea invited Jenny to a party, framing it as a way to unwind after our recent conflicts. It seemed harmless. I didn't think much of it, relieved she'd have a break from the drama. They were at the party, enjoying drinks and mingling. I was there too, across the room, hanging out with friends. It was just a typical night. I was chatting and laughing, not thinking anything of it. But then, Chelsea must have noticed me. She leaned in close to Jenny, likely whispering something and pointing me out. I don't know her exact words, but they changed everything. Jenny's expression shifted from relaxed to icy, her gaze locked on me like I'd betrayed her. She marched over, her voice cutting. "So this is what you're up to? Flirting with other girls while I'm over there, acting like nothing's wrong?" I was caught off guard. I asked what she meant, and she told me to stop lying. She said she saw me laughing with other girls, acting too close, like she didn't matter, and now I was pretending to be innocent while clearly pursuing someone else. It hit me hard. I couldn't believe her words. I insisted I wasn't flirting, just talking, but she didn't care. Her eyes were filled with mistrust, fueled by whatever Chelsea had said. She accused me of lying repeatedly, saying she could see the truth. I tried again more desperately. She interrupted, tears in her eyes. She said I never cared about her. Then she turned and stormed out of the party. My chest tightened like I couldn't breathe, and I wondered how things had spiraled so quickly. That's when it sank in. Chelsea was orchestrating it all. The next morning, something felt off when Jenny walked in. Her face was expressionless, but the tension was palpable. She didn't speak at first, just stood there. I sensed what was coming. Without a word, she slid her phone across the table. The screen was already on. Confused, I picked it up and saw a screenshot of a flirty chat, supposedly between me and some girl. The words didn't sound like me, but there they were. I noticed who sent the screenshot, Chelsea, of course. I looked at Jenny, searching for words, but she spoke first. "You've been deceiving me," she said. "First the party, then the cafe, and now this? Chelsea was right about you." It felt like the ground collapsed beneath me. I tried to explain that the messages weren't mine, but she wasn't hearing it. She'd already constructed her own narrative. "How can I trust you anymore?" she asked. "Every time I try to believe you, something else comes up." This is the last straw. I was spiraling but tried to stay calm. I pleaded, saying Chelsea had been sabotaging us from the start. "She's trying to break us up, pushing you away with these fake screenshots." Jenny crossed her arms, looking away. "Chelsea's my best friend. She wouldn't fabricate this." "Why would she?" she asked. There it was again, Chelsea. No matter what I said, it always came back to her. Frustration surged. "She's been manipulating our relationship from the beginning. She's jealous. She's afraid of losing you, so she's turning you against me." Jenny sighed like I was rehashing old excuses. She swore I was just deflecting. I couldn't breathe. I reiterated that it wasn't true, but she stood firm. "I need a break," she whispered, her voice heavy. "I can't keep doing this with all these doubts. I need space to think." My heart sank. The pain of watching someone I love slip away, all because of Chelsea's lies, consumed me. I wanted to make her see, but her expression told me it was too late. She grabbed her things and left without another word. Weeks passed, and the strain between us didn't fade. The argument that tore us apart still raw. No matter how much I tried to defend myself, Chelsea's words had cemented my guilt in Jenny's mind. I knew I had to dig deeper to prove this wasn't just my imagination. So I started investigating, scrolling through social media, diving further back than I ever had. That's when it clicked. Chelsea wasn't just making sly remarks to Jenny. She'd been publicly undermining us for months, maybe longer. There were posts where she mocked me, questioning if I was worthy of Jenny. They were subtle, cloaked in humor, but the intent was clear. The deeper I dug, the darker it got. I found comments Chelsea made about Jenny too, things she'd never say to her face. She portrayed Jenny as gullible, too trusting, and oblivious to what was happening around her. Chelsea was planting doubts about me while also undermining Jenny's confidence. It was sinister. At first, I thought Chelsea just wanted to keep Jenny to herself. She was always there, always inserting herself into our relationship. But then I saw the deeper resentment. Chelsea's bitterness wasn't new, it predated me. There was a sense she wasn't just targeting our relationship, she was targeting Jenny too. But why? What had happened to make Chelsea feel so threatened by her own best friend? Finally, I couldn't hold back. I compiled all the evidence and confronted Jenny. I showed her the posts, the snarky comments, the fake screenshots Chelsea sent. I watched her face shift from confusion to shock as she read. For a moment, I thought she'd finally understand, that she'd see Chelsea's manipulation. But instead, she froze. "This isn't what you think," she said softly, shaking her head. She thought I was trying to turn her against Chelsea. I tried to stay calm, but her refusal to see the truth frustrated me. "She's been doing this to us all along," I said. "She's lying, twisting things, making you doubt everything. She's jealous." Jenny didn't want to hear it. Why would she be jealous? She's my best friend. She's been there for me through everything. "You're the one twisting things." I could tell she wasn't ready to accept it, but I pushed forward. She once mentioned Chelsea held a grudge from their past. I asked what happened between them. She hesitated, looking away. For a moment, I thought she wouldn't answer, but then she spoke. "In high school, guys liked Jenny, not Chelsea, and she resented it. Jenny didn't seek the attention, but Chelsea felt overshadowed." I stayed silent, letting her continue. "There was one guy," she said. "Chelsea was obsessed with him for years, her biggest crush. But in senior year, he confessed he liked me instead. Chelsea never forgave me. I didn't even want him. But it broke her when she found out." She paused. I could see her piecing it together. Chelsea had carried that resentment for years, and now it was destroying everything. She never moved past it. Jenny shook her head, admitting it hurt her more than she realized, but she still believed Chelsea wouldn't do this. Not after so long. I saw her struggle. She knew the truth but couldn't let go of the Chelsea she thought she knew. I felt powerless. No matter how much evidence I had, Chelsea's grip on her was too strong. I wasn't sure anything could break it, not even me. I decided to confront Chelsea directly. I caught her alone one afternoon and brought up the conversation she claimed to have had with Jenny, where she said she saw me with another girl. It was a blatant lie, and I wanted her to admit it. At first, Chelsea dismissed me, acting like I was overreacting. But when I pressed, asking for specific details, she faltered. Her story fell apart. She couldn't keep her lies straight, and I knew I had her. I took everything I'd uncovered and showed it to Jenny this time, with all the evidence laid out. She couldn't deny it. She saw how Chelsea had manipulated her, played on her doubts, and driven us apart. Her eyes filled with pain and disbelief, the weight of it hitting her all at once. But the damage was done. That night, Jenny cut ties with Chelsea, but the betrayal lingered. It wasn't just Chelsea she felt betrayed by, it was herself. She questioned her own judgment, how she'd trusted someone so long, and worst of all, she questioned us. We sat down for the hardest talk we'd ever had. The weight of everything, her lost trust, the manipulation, the weeks of accusations, was too much. She admitted she was wrong to doubt me, but it didn't erase the fact that she had. She'd chosen Chelsea's words over mine for too long, and our trust was broken. As much as we wanted to, we couldn't return to how things were. The relationship was too damaged. After a long, painful conversation, we knew what had to be done. We agreed to part ways. It wasn't loud or angry, just a quiet, heavy sadness. As she walked out the door for the last time, the pain of it all settled in. We can't share the full story in this short video. Click the link in the description to watch the complete story. For more videos like this, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like.